Good evening. We will start. Are you able to hear me? Can you put on the chat box? This is Vijay. Thank you. So I also pushed poll. So whenever you can, just it'll help us to decide, when what works best for all of us to meet. Oh, I'm not audible. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Exactly at 7 we will get started. I think about 15. I think 17 members have expressed to you know join this evening, so hope they will be able to make it. If not, they can always see the recording, but we will not wait. Yeah, it is 7 o'clock. Let us start. Okay. And at a later point, you can also unmute, and we can talk as well. All right, I'm sharing my screen in a moment, and we will just get started. Okay, quick check again. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? Could one of you please put on the chat? Okay, I am actually sharing. Okay, Mr. Manan has said. Okay, great. We will get started without any delays. Okay, so first off, thanks coming on a weekend. All of us are here for a purpose, and that shows our commitment for learning, right? So we will look at MPC 5 and 6 as our focus, though I will touch upon little more things today, being the introductory class. Generally about IGNOU, there are a lot of questions always, lot of everybody keeps asking, and keep getting different answers every time. So all this keeps happening. I am familiar with IGNOU for almost 8-9 years now, and always like people want to kind of ask. And no, but the good thing is that everything is already available in the official IGNOU website, right? We don't need to ask in people or take any misguidance or anything like that. Okay, if you have trusted seniors, welcome, right? Otherwise your regional center and so on. So we'll talk all that more. Okay, so firstly, I want to have a disclaimer. This is not an official IGNOU engagement. I am an alumnus myself. Okay, so I'm talking out of experience, and also I uh, closely kind of help a lot of IGNOU students even after I finish my course, and so that is how I bring myself to this table. Okay, so little bit about me. Okay, my name is Vijay, as you might have already guessed, and I have an MA in psychology. Second year I took counseling psychology. and I also practice as a counseling psychologist as a volunteer on a weekly basis with an NGO, and I have also done the MA Philosophy, also from IGNOU, and then I've done a diploma in creative writing in English, also from IGNOU. Okay, and uh, in general, yeah, I deliver a lot of talks, lot of professional topics I deliver, both from my other part of my career as well as in the psychology field, right? I'm married, I have one baby, and so what drives me, basically what drives me is, I think, knowledge or teaching and sharing, right? I really enjoy this process, so that is why I was keen about all of this. And why did I take up psychology? Like most of you, my guess is that we all instinctively understand human psychology, but to get some formal understanding, that is what drove me to take up psychology as a subject. Though my base degree has nothing to do with psychology, I had small portion in industrial psychology during my bachelor's, but apart from that, I did not have much of exposure to psychology, right? And what is the vision for this engagement? Well, this engagement, I really wish that we stay together as a group and we exchange knowledge, we help each other, and it will be great if all of the people engaged in this group is able to smoothly complete the exam and does not see MPC 5 and 6 as some big devil or something that it's so difficult. And why it's a little important, I will talk again, right? It has some bearing with the second year as well. Okay. So how does IGNOU system work, right? I will really spend some time here, and if required, I will pause at a certain stage. You can open your mic and then ask questions. If at a suitable juncture, I'll do that. Okay. And mostly I'm talking in English. I hope that is okay. And when we get to Q&A, I'll try to also answer in other language whatever I know, right? So, as I said, this is the alumnus perspective. So, how does the IGNOU system work? I think most of you are registered either Jan or July. That's what I understood. So, you do have some familiarity, but let us formally little bit understand the minimal aspects. Remaining things you can also now, after this discussion, you can possibly go and again check on the website and also talk to me if you have the additional questions. So some things. Firstly, just be clear, like a lot of questions keep getting asked. Is IGNOU degree valid? Is IGNOU this? Is IGNOU that? Do you get job after this? All these questions keep getting asked. So first thing is, just be proud that you're part of IGNOU, and IGNOU is basically conceived to help aspirants once they started their job or see or much into their adult life. They want to upgrade themselves, they want to get a better career choice, right? So all of these are the drivers for an IGNOU open and distance learning mode, right? So started back in 80s, and it's a very vast university. It's the biggest university in the world in terms of the enrollments. At any point in time, you have 30 lakh students doing various courses. There are more than 100 or so courses. If you include all the diploma, certificate, masters, bachelors, all of that, it crosses 150 courses, right? I think that was when I was doing. I think now it is almost close to 200. Every year they add more, and the delivery is not easy, right? It's very beautifully handled, and yes, there are some questions about schedules all the time, and thanks to COVID, some of the things got here and there, but things are getting back to the regular schedule, right? So that way it's a very robust university, and definitely it's a recognized university, and there is no doubt about that. Okay. And yes, people have got jobs based on these degrees, so have no questions on that. Second part, just to understand a little bit about how IGNOU is structured, right? So basically, there's a visitor, I mean, that's a very casual sounding word, but basically that is the president of India, right? Currently, it's madam who is in that role, our president of the country, and the rest of the organization follows. And as far as learners are concerned, I think you will be interested more in terms of your operational organization, right? So these are all like functional organization of IGNOU, right? How it is broken down, and this entire structure is there to only facilitate the learner. So again, the word learner is used here. You don't call them students, because learner means you're self-learning. Student means you have a teacher and the teacher is teaching you, right? So expectation is very clear in terms of the terminology, right? So you're supposed to be a learner. That means you don't wait for somebody to come and tell you. You don't wait. You don't do all of that like a regular school or college. So you are self-driven and you are on your own. And you, some of the subjects do have contact classes, but those are all like just to give you a Q&A kind of environment and run through the syllabus at an overall level, right? That's how far the contact classes happen based on the study center that you're associated with, right? And what is study center, all those things we'll just quickly look, right? So what is relevant to us as a student or a learner, correct myself, as a learner. So if you see here, you have let me get my pointer, please. Yeah, so you have the HQ, which is in Delhi, IGNOU. Okay, and it is split into various regional centers. So I have thrown in some examples here. Personally, I am from Bangalore. I think in my introduction I missed that. So there is Bangalore or Delhi or Patna and so on. So all these are the regional centers. You have about 65 or so regional centers. So these regional centers are your touch point for all operational, administrative queries, all paperwork or anything that you want to personally go and get done. This is your closest place, whichever regional center. Whatever number you see in brackets, that is your regional center code. For example, Agartala is 26 or Bhubaneswar is 21, so on, right? And um, in line with the regional center, you have study centers associated. Now, every regional center could be covering certain cities, okay, nearby cities, and they are having study centers empaneled with them, which help the learners to be associated with those study centers. And if you take MAPC as an example, there is MA Psychology, then those study centers help with some basic high level classes, contact classes. And back in the pre-COVID days, labs used to happen in those classes, right? Practical classes, right? So those study centers are mainly for that. And also we used to submit the assignments in study centers. Of course, now post COVID, you need to just scan and mail it to the relevant mail IDs, which you will see in the coming engagements. Okay, so this is the one operation structure that you'll need to be worried or be cognizant of, right? And this is the thing that differentiates between what is the role of a regional center, what is a study center, and so on. And when you write for exam, there will be another exam center. Invariably, you can pick your study center also as an exam center if it is nearby and if it's available as an exam center. So that is possible, right? um, and this is the root page of IGNOU. Okay, so go here maybe tomorrow when you're free. Look at all the sections, orient yourself with your university, right? It's always good. And but I have tried to explain a few of the key areas here and what is their relevance and importance. So I'll quickly go there, right? Look at the divisions, right? So there are various divisions. These are like departments under IGNOU, right? Or these divisions help with various functions to deliver various end deliverables to the learners, right? A typical one could be your material distribution division, right? So this distribution center is, I mean, department or division is responsible for, is a centralized distribution, and it goes to regional centers. So they actually print the materials, study materials, which get upgraded every year or every 2 years, 3 years, depending on the course. And those hard copy materials, if you have chosen when you registered for your course, then I won't say course, maybe the right word is program. So there's a difference between program and course. I will explain that later. So if you, when you registered for your program, if you got if you chose I need hard copy material, then this is a department that will be responsible for going there. And there are some mail IDs where you can ask them what is going on and so forth, right? So like that, there are other things you can go inside and see whenever you have a problem, which department what to contact. But your primary touch point will be your RC, that means your regional center. So they are your first help desk or first touch point, and they will be able to sort out most or 99% of the things. And what are the different schools, right? So there are different schools of studies. That is how IGNOU is structured in terms of delivery mode, right? There is a school of agriculture, school of education. So psychology comes under MA psychology, and BA psychology all comes under school of social sciences, right? So you can go into this link, and they're all there in the IGNOU main site. I'll once go to the site also and show you if you have not seen it. And that's where you can go and get your contacts for School of Social Sciences, right? There is Madam Swati and other senior professors who can many times help with some critical queries. They can't be bombarded with all queries, but at least they can be reached. And I have personally also got answers kindly from them. So those are the few things that you can keep in mind, how to go and look at your school of study, right? Remember, ours is School of Social Science, right, for psychology. So if you go inside that school, you will see all the programs, all the degrees that are offered, right? All the masters, all the PG diplomas, and so on, right? There are I know people who have also done PG diploma in mental health after doing MAPC, right? That gives them little bit more practical exposure and little bit more on the disorders and all those things. So I know people who have also taken up PGDMH after their masters. So that's a good course to do also. It goes in depth in terms of disorders and a little bit more on the clinical side, especially if you've taken counseling or if you've taken industrial, then it's a good add-on, right? But that's for another day. Okay. So one common thing in downloads, what are the common things that we want to download when you think about IGNOU? Basically, you have a common prospectus, you have a program guide. Okay, program is MAPC, course is MPC005 or 006 and so on, right? So that is a distinction. Program is MAPC. So when you write your exam answer sheet, there will be one column for program, there will be one column for course. So always remember, program is MAPC for your 2 years, don't forget that. And course is your actual subject code that you are going to write. Okay. And other things that you will want to download is assignment question papers, past year question papers, date sheet. So final exam is called term end exam in IGNOU world. So your date sheet for what is a date sheet? Basically, is a schedule of the exams. So if your exam is in June, then by end of May, the date sheet will be out, which will be posted on the IGNOU website in the announcement section. And click that link, you can go and get the PDF and then search for your exam dates, right? It will be a common schedule for all, say, 150 200 courses, now programs again, right? And of course, ID card, hall tickets, your fees, the receipts, all these administrative things come under your purview of downloads, right? So how do you get there? Maybe when I do a walkthrough on the website, I can again show there. So I'll spend some time here. This is important, and I'll also open up. If you want, you can unmute and ask some questions if there is anything like to be asked. So typical deadlines, right? Just remember this. These are typical deadlines. Okay. Why I'm saying typical is because, of course, in the recent 2 years during the COVID, some of these dates got shifted even by 3 months, 4 months, like that. But then you keep in mind, if you joined in a July batch or you joined in a January batch, then these are your minimum deadlines to follow, right? Your assignment deadline will be 31st March of the next year. So for example, you joined in July 22, then your assignment deadline is uh, March 31st March 23. And when is the last date to register for your exam, which is in June, that is 30th April. So this is a standard schedule of IGNOU, right? And same way, if you're a Jan batch person, learner, then 30th September is your deadline for the assignment. So typically IGNOU gives like 8 to 9 months good time for you to actually do the assignments, and those are very lot of good time, that is. And similarly, exam registration deadline will be 31st October. Now there will be some 10 days or 15 days buffer which you can still register with late fees and all that. But that fees will be like, if one subject is 150 rupees, then that will be like 1000 rupees per subject, something like that. So it will be like really waste of money if you think that way, right? So just do it on time. So what can prevent you from doing this exam registration? You are late on your assignment, right? You did not finish your assignment. So criteria for exam registration, you have to declare on the online form, yes, I have submitted all my assignments to my RC or SC, right? To my depending on how the arrangement is, COVID, non-COVID, whatever that is, right? So this is a prerequisite to have completed before you do the exam registration. Otherwise, you can't register and hence you can't write the exam. So you must finish your assignment within the deadline. And typically they don't extend the assignment deadline, but sometimes they do. So don't bank on that grace days and all that. So finish it. Even if you start by December end, you can easily finish your assignments by 31st March. Right now, possibly we are in that schedule. And then you June, July, you'll have your exam. Now, after COVID happened, these dates are slightly moved. Okay, so that you will need to track online, and we'll know what are those deadlines, right? It might have shifted by a month or couple of months. We need to see that, right? But again, you treat this, we are still in line, good to follow these dates, right? If we put our minimal efforts. Yeah, so this is what I was telling you. So without late fee and with late fee and all that, so 1000 rupees, that is what. So 1000 rupees you will end up paying if you miss the 30th April. Then you have 10 more days to register. Then you have so those 1000 rupees per subject kind of registration. Okay, similarly for the December, so exams happen in June and December, registration happens in July and Jan. So Jan student will write exam in December in the annual system. Again, this is all annual system. And June student will write sorry, July student will write exam in June, right? So this is how the schedule goes. In between deadlines are what you see here, right? So some things what I already spoke, taken a grab from the program guide itself, nothing new I'm talking, right? So this is what again I was reiterating, you must finish your assignment because there is a weightage on your marks card for the assignment. So 70% for your term end and 30% for your assignment. So take your effort and do the assignments well on your own without copying, without asking other people to do, or those kind of things, right? And this is another critical thing what you're seeing on the last bottom. This is related to your projects. Okay, the projects are there in the second year. For ease of discussion, I'll just use one of these batches. Just I'll use a July batch because we seem to be in that current cycle for now. Okay, so this July batch, um, the project deadline, right? So let's talk in terms of dates. So if you enrolled first year in July 22, right? Then we are talking about 30th September 23 here. Okay, that means you wrote your exam in June 23, you got your results, you passed MPC 5 and 6, and you got your results by August or say by end of July. And 30th September, you have to develop your project synopsis, which is a shortened version of your project, like an abstract, extended abstract. And you also have to submit the proof that you passed MPC 5 and 6. Otherwise, you can't submit synopsis because that is a criteria or a requirement as per the guideline that you must finish 5 and 6. You can fail in other subjects, which we don't want. I'm just telling like from a practical point of view. If you fail in MPC 1 or 2 or whatever, this deadline will not get hampered. But if you fail in MPC 5 or 6, then what will happen? June is when you would have failed. The next opportunity to clear that subject will be again in December. So every 6 months, whatever you, if at all you fail, which I don't want, which we don't want, The next 6 month cycle, you can again enroll for that exam alone and write. Okay, so that's how it works. So then you'll miss this 30th September. So then you will have to write MPC 5 or 6 in December of 23, and then you'll have to go as per the 31st March deadline for the project submission, synopsis submission, and then your whole thing is shifted by 6 months, right? And furthermore, if there are delays, then what you can complete in 2 years, you'll end up taking 2.5, 3 years. Of course, I think IGNOU allows 7 years for MAPC, but it's not worth spending 7 years on a degree like that, right? And we also lose interest and all that. So let us not go into that. So it is very easy to do it in 2 years. So just be a little disciplined. It is possible. Okay. So I'll pause here. I spoke a lot, I think. Let me pause here for any questions. I'll also look at the chat box. You can open your mic also and talk. Okay, somebody is asking whether your camera is on or off. I can see like everybody's camera is off, so not to worry. Okay, so it is off and not to worry. Okay, let me go back to the chat. Where is my chat box? Yeah, I'm just seeing how to unmute. Okay, I think you have an interface here, like below. You can mute, unmute here. Is that? I hope that is solved. Um, will we be given or allocated SC? Okay, so how? Yeah, how to open the mic? Just see below your screen. Okay, where if you can see my screen, there is a camera and a mic icon, and just like if you click again, it will be transparent. Okay, so when you joined, did you give that permission? If not, then you will not have that option. So it's okay. You can type in the chat. I will answer. I will read out and I'll answer. Okay. Um, so what was that? Will we be given or allocated SC? So study center is basically dependent on the subject you have taken, and you have taken MAPC. So whichever study center is linked with your what you say. Uh, uh, RC, that is the regional center, then that is what you will be informed of, right? So most of the time, the study center is a college or is an institute that supports this subject. So that is how the study center. So we can't choose the study center on our own. If there are two study centers in the same city, then you have the option of choosing. But most times that is not the case. Then you can't choose, right? Okay, so it looks like there is some issue in your voice participation. I need to check why that is so. My guess is that that permission would have not been given, but if that is also not the case, I will set right for the next time, right? Apologies for that. Um, but put it in the chat. I will read and I will answer. Uh, who can take my practical, RC or SC? So your practicals are the care of study center, because that is the institute and your teachers are all from the study center. So regional center is for administrative purposes. Learning purpose is from study center. Okay, so all your studying related things will be from the study center, including the practicals. Okay, so regional center is like I missed deadline, or I have not got my study material still, or I gave my wrong spelling of my name, I want to correct it. So these kind of things will be your what your regional center is responsible. So all administrative things. Can I shift my RC? Yes, you can shift your RC. you'll just need to give a request, say especially people in central government or army postings, you may get transferred and things like that. So, or even otherwise, you can get your transfer of your study center as well as your regional center by going in person to your first RC and giving a request in whatever format they request. But you have to go in person to request for that. It can't be done like online or through phone or anything. So you have to go and give a request in your regional center what has been allocated to you. Yeah, so that is possible. How much project making in first year? So first year there is no projects. I will run through the subjects now in some time. I will help you understand that in first year there is no project. You only have two subjects where those subjects are going to influence your project readiness in second year. That's all. There is no other project submission. It's all only theory subjects. You have to write the exam in first year. Okay. So meanwhile, sure, you're welcome. What else? Let me see if I can quickly see there is any way. If I missed out to start, enable your mic. Okay, no, I will not waste time now. Okay, more time now. So apologies really for that. I wish I could have heard you all, but let's do with chat for now. I'll fix it for our next meeting. Let me understand. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Okay, one more question is here. I want to know if I am Jan 22 batch. I had not appeared for 005 and 6 this December. Uh, so maybe I did not get the question. So you are so Rashmiji, you are Jan 22 registration. That is when you registered. In December you did not apply for 5 and 6. Is that correct? What you are asking? So if you are a Jan student, your exam will be first time opportunity to write the exam will be in December. Okay, not in June. So minimum 1 year has to complete. So your opportunity to register is in December TE, and you'll be able to take that exam. Yeah. Uh, so you are a Jan 22 batch, right? So your first opportunity to write your exam in December is in December. Now, if you did not appear for, you registered also, but you did not appear for 5 and 6 because of some reasons, no problem. Uh, you can again register for this exam in June opportunity, right? And you can take that exam. So only thing is like you just hope that your results also should come. Exam fees, yes, you can pay the exam fees, but that is still time is there, right? You want to write in June, correct? In the next opportunity. Okay, sir. I will try my Hindi also. I will do that. Rashmi ji, did I answer your question? Okay, sir. If everybody can bear with me, let me quickly, explore the mic option. Let just help me. If you give me 2 minutes, please. Okay, I will explore the mic option. So I'll stop sharing for a moment. Hi, Shubham. Okay, I figured out what needs to be done for that. At least for now, it's dependent on me inviting some of the people. So let me give a chance to who was asking. Okay, give me a second. I think Rashmi ji was asking. So let me. So yes, madam. Okay, you joined from mobile. So okay, that settings need to be changed. Okay. Apologies, madam. I will get that fixed for next time. Mananji, you had something. Can I? I think you are on laptop. You had said. So let me allow you to open your mic and ask question. Yes, you can unmute now, sir, and you can ask. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you hear me
you're
now?
audible. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you, sir. Yeah,
Thank
please
God.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
couple of things. Are there any difference between TEE and uh, the what you call the submission?
So TEE means term and exam. Okay, that is what we were seeing on the slide here,
Okay.
right? This is
Yeah.
your final exam. So TEE means term and exam. So as I explained, whichever batch you belong to, your term and exam accordingly will happen, right? So if you are July batch, your exam, that is your term and exam, will happen in June through July.
Okay. Thank you. And the other thing is, like, you are already you have passed this. I mean, just asking out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
yeah, I have completed and I'm just helping people
Yeah,
who are
it's kind of you. It's a
sure,
wonderful.
sure. I
So far, it
enjoy
go.
this
It
subject.
is, yes.
Thank you.
So yeah, and there are other things, but I think I'll allow people other than me to,
Sure,
you
sure,
know,
sure.
to ask
Yeah,
you. But
anytime you can do that, like raise your hand.
just one question: will you be?
Hmm.
Is it possible for you to send the PPT in case, like, for
Yeah,
future?
this recording itself will be available, right?
Oh, I
Anytime
see.
you will get this recording with the voice, so
Ah,
no
thank
problem.
you, thank
Yeah,
you, thank
yeah,
you.
sure.
Let me know how to, access that.
Yes, yes, I will send that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so you can stay on the stage. Maybe if you have something, you can unmute and ask later. So let me see if I can invite others, except I think mobile members I am not able to uh, invite. I'll see how I can change that setting later. So for now, at least I will get everybody on stage so that you can unmute whenever you can. So whoever is VK, you can accept my request to join on the stage. So later you can unmute and ask if you have questions. Okay. Then who else? Yeah, Shilpiji, you can also accept. If you want to ask questions later, you can come on the stage and ask. Right? Then you'll get the audio options. Okay. What I will do then is I will, based on whoever requests, only them I will call. I think Hemant ji had something, so I will invite him. Hemant ji, you can come and accept. See your screen. There will be some prompt. Just accept, and you can then unmute and ask. I will try my Hindi also. Okay, maybe there is no requirement right now, so then I'll pause. So let's go back to your presentation, to our presentation. All right, and yeah. So what about exams? How the exam works? How the evaluation? How the scoring works? IGNOU also gives out divisions like first division, second, third, and so on. As I said, there is a 30% weightage for assignments and 70% weightage for the final exam that you write. Right. So your assignment will be typically for 100 marks. Exam also, if it's for 100 marks, then if you got say 60 out of 100 in exam and 80 out of 100 in your assignment. Assignment is open book, you are writing at home. Exam is you are writing in the exam hall. Okay, so then 70% out of 70% of 60 plus 30% of 80 will be your total score of that subject in your marks card. So if you add up all these things and final percentage taken, that is the percentage which will determine your division. Okay, and there are some conditions as you see below. You are required to score at least 40% marks in both continuous evaluation, that is your assignment, as well as the final exam. Right? And in the overall also you should be more than 40%. Right? Then you will get the MA degree. Right? Depending on the overall percentage, you will get your division also. Right? So that's why assignments are important. They have some weightage in your final marks card. So use that to your best advantage. And it's open book. It's using the study materials only you're writing. You have a lot of time. So that's why use your assignments well, so that it helps you in your final scores in your overall marks card. Right. So sometimes theory, third term and exam, we may forget things. We may not do so well. All those times, your assignment can help to boost your score more. Right. So assignments are important. So do take them very seriously. Another good thing about assignment is you're seeing the question, you're searching for answer, you're looking at the study material, you're learning a lot, right? So that is the good part about assignments, and that is the purpose of assignments. Okay. So now we are all in MAPC, as we know. MAPC is our program, MA Psychology. that is a uh, program code. So as I mentioned, I have completed the MAPC and then also the MAPY. MAPY is philosophy, right? So both of these I have completed. So now we are looking at the MAPC, right? So we'll look at both first and second year and how they are connected, and then after that we will deep dive into 5 and 6, MPC 5 and 6. Okay, so first year, what you have in your subjects, look at it, right? So what subjects you have, let us understand. So these are your course code. What is the program code? MAPC. What is your course code? You see here. And what is your course name? You see here, right? So this is how it goes. And these are the credits. So you should finish all of these to get the credit. Totally you need to earn 32 credits, but you will get the marks only. But for awarding degree, these credits is considered, right? It will not be seen in your marks card or anywhere, just that, for understanding purpose, these credits are there. So totally you need to finish all of these subjects in your first year. There are 7 subjects, out of which the 7th subject is a practical or a lab related subject. Remaining are all theory subjects which you study with your study material, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Cognitive psychology, learning and memory, lifespan psychology, right? And personality theories and assessment, social psychology, advanced social psychology, okay? Research methods, statistics in psychology, and then the practicum. So there are certain experiments and there are certain procedures. This you can learn with the help of your study center. And now in the COVID time, there are some better methods, like it's being also done online. So depending on what the arrangement is with your study center, that will happen. Okay. And so these are your core subjects for your first year. So as you see, there are no electives or anything here. All are mandatory subjects. You have to complete all these subjects to pass your first year, right? These are all very interesting subjects. I would suggest, like, you take time, read when you're free, enjoy these subjects because you took this degree out of your passion. So do justice for that, right? And we will focus on MPC 5 and 6 for the reasons I told you, right? MPC 5 and MPC 6 are mandatory to be on track for your project for next year, and most learners find these two difficult, but it is not difficult. That is my message. And since the criteria is there for second year, they take more tension or stress for these two and then end up doing bad on this. But it is not so. It is very easily doable, and if you systematically study, it's very simple. This is more or less theory, and this has a few mathematical things and those things we can look at, right? This is the only subject which has a little bit of mathematical things. Others all are theory, and it depends on your memory and how many times you have revised, how many times you practiced, right? If you're coming back to school, college after many years, like I did, after almost 12, 13 years, I came back to studying. So initially it was a little difficult, but what to do? We have to study because we took our commitment, so we have to study. And then once you get used to it, you will get very comfortable. Not to worry. You will start remembering your school days or class 11, class 12 days, how you were expert in mugging up. Sometimes you have to do that, right? So second year, how it works? Second year is when you specialize into one of the 3 groups. What are those 3 groups? It's either clinical psychology, right, where you have these subjects related to clinical psychology. And maybe in Q&A I can answer if anybody has what is the difference between all these 3 streams, which one I should choose, all those things. But anyway, for now I'll just go through this is a group, first group, right? So here there is internship and there is project, or in current system they have also introduced a subject called applied positive psychology if you don't want to do project, right? So that is possible. So you either do code number 16 or code number 46. This was not there when I was studying, but it's a good option, I feel. Applied positive psychology, much needed for today. And you have the internship wherein you have to go to some counseling center if at all you're doing for counseling. If you're doing clinical, then you have to go to a clinical setup and do an internship and learn from them. And if you're doing industrial, then you go to some company or some organization to do some task with the HR as per your internship guidelines. Okay, and this is a practical subject, and then you have only 3 theory subjects in the second year. Okay, so this is a same format in all 3 streams. Okay, you have practical, internship, project. If you don't want to do, you can do this subject, applied positive psychology, in this case, right? So in all cases actually. So again, here is the same format. This is a counseling psychology. So if you want to become a counseling psychologist, uh, you will be doing this, and you will be assisting the psychiatrist who is a MD, MBBS, MD doctor. You will be assisting them in many times to do the internal initial screening, and then understand what is the requirements, make your assessments, and then recommend if they need a psychiatrist intervention, right? All those things you will be doing. And if you are in a clinical, you will also be in a similar setup when you actually do your job, but just that you will have a little more on the disorders. You will be more inclined to understanding mental disorders, mental patterns, and those kind of studies, and closely working with the psychiatrist. Okay, so you will not in either case be giving medicines or anything like that. You are not authorized for that, but you can do your counseling and your clinical assessment, right? Even after this, if some thing is required based on the physiological or biological condition of the individual, then you will refer them to the psychiatrist for some short-term medication or whatever be the case as they may refer or they may decide, right? So typically counseling psychology, you may get couples, you may get children, you may get some, very teenagers who are a little bit adamant, they don't want to study, maybe something the parents have brought them. So these kind of cases you will get in counseling, right? Still in counseling you can specialize even more. There are more things, maybe as we go we'll talk, right? And the third group is industrial and organization psychology. This is typically if you want a role in the HR department of any corporate or company, then you can take up this. And there's all organization behavior, HRD aspects, right? Organization development, right? And all of these. And practical is also here, and internship is also here. And then you have option of project and project or applied positive psychology, which is a theory subject. So then if you take up, if you say no project, as I said, you will do this theory subject along with these 3 theory subjects, all streams, that is common. Okay, learner can choose the either project. Yeah, that is what I am saying, right? It is applicable for, as I said, this is only recently it started. It was not there in my times. Okay, so again 32 plus 32, 64 credits for 2 years. Now look at the subjects. Okay, how IGNOU system is in terms of the subject. Okay, so as you got familiar now, just we'll focus on first year. If you can see here, so you have the 7 subjects, so forget the practicals. But if you look at the 6 theory subjects, all the 6 theory subjects have the same format in terms of the structure. Every IGNOU study material in across programs, more or less, where all I have seen is divided into blocks and units. Typically, you will have 4 blocks for every subject, and each block will be one booklet. If you have seen your study material, you can understand that. Or even if you have downloaded from eGyan course, you will see that one block will have 4 units. So totally 4 blocks into 4 units, you have 16 units per subject to be studied, right? But there is also some analysis we can do, and sometimes we'll say like some blocks are more important or some units are more important based on past question paper trends and those kind of things. But for that those things don't worry right now. Right now you just think you have to study 16 units. Okay, don't leave anything out. It is for your own knowledge, right? It's not like you're mugging up for exam purpose or getting only degree. Because psychology is like a social responsibility. If you take this up, then you have to do justice to the subject, because you're going to be handling other people, right? So you can't take it casually. So there are some exceptions, as I said, not all programs, but in MAPC, don't worry, everything is 4 blocks and 4 units, every subject, right? All theory subjects, even in second year. I think there could be 1 or 2 exceptions if I remember, but otherwise, more or less, it is the same thing. This is the volume of study for one subject that you need to do. Okay. So let us deep dive now into MPC 5, which is what our class we decided we'll do, MPC 5 and 6. So block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Okay. Each block, as I said, has 4 units. I'm not reading them out, but I'll at least read the block headings. First block is Introduction to Research Methods in Psychology. So psychology is a heavily research driven subject, right? So that's why research methods like is very important. When you do your project, you will apply many of these methods of research methods that you have studied in your first year, which is why it becomes mandatory that you pass this before you do your project. That's how the system is built, right? And then there is types of research, and there is types of research, and then there is research design, and then there is qualitative research in psychology, right? So what is the difference between all of these things? We'll deep dive as we study. Okay, it may be sounding little bit all new terminologies. Don't be afraid or don't get demotivated or anything. And if you're not, then I'm happy already, right? So there are 4 blocks here. So similarly, there is a 4 blocks in statistics. So introduction to statistics, correlation regression. So the first block is mostly theoretical. Second block onwards, little bit of problems and mathematics starts, and then you have normal distribution, and then you have non-parametric statistics. Little bit problems will be there in problems means mathematical problems will be there in these 3 blocks, right? But again, they are not difficult or they are not very out of world for you to master. Not to worry. Okay. So I'll pause here so that I will show you something. What is it that you need to be mentally ready, right? So let me share, like deep dive into one of these subjects, right? Are you still hopefully able to see my screen, right? So if you look at it, so this is your MPC 5 research methods, introduction to research methodology. You have your 4 units, and inside each unit you have some subtopics, right? So that is what you're seeing on the screen here. So let me do full screen, right? So this is how it will look, that entire block, right? You have all the 1, 2, 3, 4. Inside each unit you have the topics, and I was preparing some study materials or teaching materials for this, so I have marked some of the important areas and things like that, but we'll talk more when we actually do it, right? And so each area is important, and some of them are very easy, some of them little bit you have to practice to remember those kind of things, right? Similarly, like if you go, then you can see like what is it in unit 1, right? For example, I just expanded that view, same view. So all these are part of the understanding in unit 1. So basic process concept in research. So there's always an introduction, there is always an objective of the lesson. Focus on this, it helps you set the context, right? And these are all the topics coming under it. Lot of times repeat questions will come in: criteria of good research, objectives of good research. These are like 10-mark questions will come in this, right? And then the overall research process, basic consideration: what is the context of discovery, what is the context of justification, what it means, right? Those kind of things. So this is how every unit will look. They will be subtopics, right? And then you are seeing there are also subtopics and so on, right? Similarly, all the units will be like this. So this is just one block we are looking. Okay, always remember that. Similarly, unit 2 is like this, right? There are different things here, and they're all logically. So why I have drawn this tree map, because so you are mentally able to remember the things. Otherwise you will see one flat book, and suppose they say 5-mark question, write about concurrent validity. Now you will have to scratch your head where it is coming, what it is coming. So at least if you draw these kind of trees, at least I did it when I was learning myself, I immediately will remember, okay, there is a validity topic, and then there is types of validities topic. In that, I will remember like CCCFIE, right? Simple way of remembering what we would have done in our past. And inside that, what is it that so surely it takes 3 to 4 times of revision to commit to your memory, but it's not difficult, right? So like that, you go deep into every unit. Okay, so once you really understand the context, then it's not too very difficult, right? And I'll pause here maybe before going into this. If there are any questions on the chat box. Yeah, whoever is able to, kind of come on the stage, you can unmute and ask. Others can ask on the chat. Let me open the chat. Okay, Rashmi ji, let me see some other before that. Okay, I saw the last question here. You wanted to talk and explain. Okay, madam. So we'll try to do that. Hopefully, next time I will be better in my arrangement. Uh, so that even if you join via phone, you can unmute and talk. So sorry for that. I have a lot of questions regarding clinical and counseling. Sure, we have time for that. So don't get stressed over it. Choosing between clinical versus counseling, I can surely guide you, whatever is your interest. Um, okay, can you zoom it? I did zoom. Hope that helped. Also close the chat box. It will be okay. Okay, sure, sir. Let us do that. Okay, any questions? Any other questions? Okay, no other questions. Then I will just go ahead and continue the slides. We are
Yeah,
at
may I just ask a few
yes,
additional
Mananji.
things? Yeah. One of the thing is, as you said, you have done diploma. I presume, if I'm not wrong, a diploma in mental health, or one of the thing you have shown us, right?
So let me again
The
context
first,
what I have done.
one of the first
Yeah,
slides.
what I have done is here.
Okay,
I
you
have
have,
done these three.
okay. After that, maybe in one of the other slides, sixth or seventh,
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, I did talk about PG diploma in mental health, right?
Yeah.
Is
So
that what
about
you're saying?
that, if we want to join, can we
Hmm.
simultaneously do with this?
A good question, very good question. So, if you are enrolled for a master's, you are not allowed to do another PG diploma or a diploma. You are allowed to do a certificate course simultaneously.
Okay. So in this case, for example, if somebody is not doing MAPC or any master course,
Hmm.
they can do this, right?
They can take a PGDMH. So
Yeah.
that's what
And
I was
now,
saying. Like
yes.
after you finish MAPC, you can still do PGDMH.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And the other thing is, this is a little bit, kind of serious for me. I mean,
Sure, sir.
um, the thing is, like, after we complete this
Hmm.
master in
Hmm.
psychology,
Hmm.
are we supposed to join any kind of, let's say, association or a higher body, or, like, for example, I'm an advocate as well,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
mostly into counseling, but
Hmm. Hmm.
so,
Hmm.
like, we have Bar Council of India,
Correct.
or, medical personnel has a medical, this board of India,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So for this, let's say, if I want to be a counselor, which I unofficially am, but
Hmm.
if I,
Hmm. Hmm.
on a serious note,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
for that, do we need any certification or an affiliation with any sort of organization, association?
So
I hope you understand.
yes, 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 understood. So
Yeah.
as far as your affiliation is concerned, well, after your masters, you are IGNOU has also clarified many times. Maybe I can share that offline, but you are entitled to be a counselor in a counseling setup. Okay,
Yes.
you are by virtue of completion of your MAPC, you can be a
Mm.
practicing counseling psychologist. Yes, you can. And
And
you,
yeah.
if you are specialized in clinical psychology, then you can be a practicing clinical psychologist. So if you still want an affiliation, you are
Mm.
welcome to get that, and that is done through Rehabilitation Council of India, where you can go and apply for that, take that exam, and there are certain criteria to be met. And once you're done, then there is a certain period up to which that is valid, I think 3 years if I remember, and you can still get that if you want to just put it on your resume and enhance your profile, you are welcome
Mhm.
to do that, right? But that is not mandatory in the context of counseling psychology.
Legally also this is not binding, right? I mean,
Yes, no, it is not. It is not.
and if suppose one has, let's say, doesn't have a bachelor or master
Mm,
um,
mm.
in psychology, and still if they want to do it, can they, should they, I mean, just asking.
To get an affiliation.
Yeah, also affiliation, yeah,
No,
like,
affiliation will happen only when you have a relevant degree in psychology related to psychology. So
see,
otherwise, you cannot go to RCI and take that accreditation. So
okay,
apart from that, you have to do their own criteria and their own things to be met. There
yeah,
are some number of hours we spend, and those kind of things are there. But otherwise, also you don't need, you don't want to do that. You don't need to do that, right?
I see. So like for that, the eligibility and everything, I'll get it online,
I'll
right?
share that. I can share that.
Yeah, so
Right?
please
I can
do it
share that.
afterwards. Anyway, and the next question is, it comes from a friend of mine,
Hmm.
uh, who is not in the
Sure,
what do you
sure.
call, in the
No
meet
problem.
today.
Yeah.
The thing is, she has been doing a PhD. Okay,
Mhm.
at the same time, can she do or join this course? Let's say next year, or like while pursuing her PhD, which is a part time this thing.
Yes, she can. So what conflict is there is if you are doing it from IGNOU, then you can't. That is the
I
only
didn't get it.
conflict. So
Uh,
if your friend is doing a PhD from IGNOU, right?
Yeah, no, no, she's not doing it from IGNOU. She's
Then
doing
welcome.
distance, sorry,
Then
not
she.
distance, part time in a private university.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That your friend can surely take up any course in IGNOU.
So
No, not an issue.
UGC doesn't have a problem with, like, let's
No,
say,
there is no
Master of
problem.
Psychology as well as
Yes,
doing PhD.
correct. There is no problem.
Hmm. Okay, okay. But do you suggest any right place to ask this? Or are you sure
You
about it?
can sure, yeah, yeah, I am sure about it, and I can also send you some references, right?
Yes, please.
Through IGNOU website itself. All this is there in the IGNOU website. I can send you those things, right? And next time when you visit the regional center, still you can also ask there also.
Yeah,
But
about
I
that,
will send you that. I will send
about
you the
regional
online.
regional center.
Hmm.
Are we supposed to wait for the email, or should we approach them, or go directly, or like when will they allot a program guide or supervisor, whatever?
So you are in first year now, right?
Yes,
Correct, sir.
yes,
And you're in July batch or
yes,
which batch?
yes,
You're in July
yes.
22
True.
batch.
Yeah,
So
correct.
so you would have got your ID card, you would have got your enrollment details, you
Yes,
got your roll number, everything you got, right? So
yes.
there is nothing much at this point that your regional center has to do for you, right? All that
Hmm.
you need to do is you need to start working on the assignments and start, getting to the next level of things.
Okay, and for the assignments and all, I haven't received, like many people, I'm sure, the books of
I will
MPC
talk.
one,
I
two,
am
three,
coming to
four.
that. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
coming to
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll talk about that.
yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Right? Okay, sure, sure. All right. So this is what I was where I was, and so let us. Sorry, I was disturbed by a call. I just cut that. Okay, where were we? Yeah. So question is always there: how to excel in IGNOU? How do you kind of get the better out of the system, and how do you not take so much stress about where, what, how. um, that's what it is, right? So before going there, since we are all related to psychology, there is one educational psychologist, and he put out this taxonomy of learning, right? So what is this taxonomy of learning. He came up with a pyramid structure which talks about how we learn, right? So how a learning happens. So if we remember this structure, then we'll not take stress and we'll go in a systematic manner to learn any new subject. So whenever you learn a new subject, what is it that is required? You have to first read the content, read the material. Your first challenge will be to at least remember, recall after you close the book, what are the terms, what are the things that you read, right? First job is committing to memory, right? Many times what we try to do is we try to directly go to the question paper after one basic read, and then we get disappointed that we are not able to remember. I am not good enough, I am not intelligent, I am not this, I am not that. No, because you are having false expectation. How the brain works we are looking at, right? Which you will also learn in your cognitive psychology in first year, right? So how learning happens. So but anyway, so here you have first job to remember. So anything you learn, like I showed you in the expanded view of that content in unit 1, so you use some abbreviations, you use some acronyms. So you try to remember the terminologies, remember the things, right? This is a master's degree, you will come across new terminologies, many things. So first job is to remember. Don't understand, don't worry anything else. Okay, just remember. Next, what you do, you try to classify or describe. Okay, this comes in validity, this comes in variables, this comes in say research, post facto research method. So that at least you try to classify in your mental understanding, right? Once you remember only you will be able to understand, right? Once you understand, then you start applying. So you start looking at the question paper, you start little bit implementing or solving the things, or you start writing without seeing, right? Those kind of things. You can do all this when you do the assignments. There's a golden opportunity for you to apply these things when you do the assignment. You read, close the book and start writing the assignment, right? Don't copy word to word from the study material. That is not what is expected out of the assignment. Then you analyze. So then you are able to see, okay, research methods, I studied this, now I'm looking at this into statistics. Okay, these two concepts are correlated. Okay, that is how it makes sense. So you're able to connect and analyze and those kind of things. Then you start to evaluate and you start putting your own individual judgment on the topic, which is very important, right? You can't always say like somebody written in the book is always right. That is expected to be so, but you have your own opinion about it. And so when you write your exam, you write on your own words, by not compromising on the overall message, right? So you evaluate, and once you finish that learning the subject, and you start creating, where you start developing your own outcomes, your own findings, which you'll get an opportunity to do in your project work, right? Whatever you studied in your first year, maybe something inspired you, you went deep, you took up a standard test and took it to a school, asked the children to fill up that survey, then you did some analysis, applied some statistical methods, came out with some conclusion after looking at the hypothesis. So that is creating or applying to the next level, final level, right? So just remember this structure, be patient through this process, right? First goal is remember. Don't forget about everything else. Just remember the things that you have seen. That is your first goal, and then jump into create eventually after all these other steps. So few pointers. These are from my personal experience. Okay. Annual systems are actually easy. I do say that with a lot of confidence. There is really a lot of time. The volume is there of the subjects, but no doubt. But if you systematically approach even 1 hour per day, you can still do it very well. You can come out with good flying colors, right? And as I showed you, the schedules are predetermined. So you plan your personal life, your study, your work, everything you plan accordingly, because IGNOU is templated timeline. There will be change, only it will be postponed. It will never be preponed. Okay, it will never be advanced. There will always be only a postponement, and that is to your advantage. But then you plan as per the standard templated timeline, what I showed you, right? And do the assignment sincerely, like learn during the assignments. Don't copy, don't ask your friend to write, don't ask your family to write, or There are also some things you can buy nowadays. People are saying don't do all those things, right? So just be sincere with your attempt, because this is a very serious subject, a socially responsible subject. And then enjoy the learning process as an adult, right? Maybe we had a lot of pressure in school or college times and all that. Now it's your own choice, you took this, so enjoy the process, right? It's a master's degree needs some kind of effort, right? So remember that it's not going to be like time pass, right? Memory surely fails. That's what I was talking here. You have to remember to revise, okay? And old question papers are your best friend, where you can learn and go and retest what you've learned and things like that, which I think during our classes we'll see. And have some good companions who are also hardworking like you. That motivates and that also keeps you inspired to do the right things, and then keep tab on each other so you learn well, right? And last but not the least, it's a social responsibility. That's what I can say, right? So this approach with the learning, you can excel. There is no doubt or anything. So what is it? What is upcoming, right? Uh, so um, uh, how will we look at it, right? Any guesses? So we did see the blocks and units. So we have to plan our classes also in similar way, right? So two subjects. We have totally 8 blocks and 16 plus 16 units. So that means 2 hours per unit if we take in one class. Some units we can go faster. Maybe we do 2 units also, but we'll see. But we'll just to start with, we'll keep 2 hours per unit and 64 hours, right? That is the number of classes we'll do, right? We'll keep one class as 2 hours, right? So two classes per week, 4 hours. So we'll use 16 weeks or 4 months to complete this to in the classroom, right? You want to go faster? Yeah, you can also go faster. But if you want to learn together in a systematic way, we'll try to approach, because we are still in December. Your exam is going to be in June, July, or August if things postpone and all that, right? But at least March deadline for your assignments, you would have covered most of the syllabus, right? By that time, 16 weeks is 4 months. So assuming starting Jan, Feb, March, April. So by March, if you finish your assignment, I think most of the syllabus you would have been able to cover, right? So what we will do in between during the classes, what will be the format? We'll have a lot of quizzes. I'm using this particular interface. Apologies only for today because I did not set the audio settings correctly. But next time I'll make sure it is correct. But this interface is good, where we can have quizzes. We can have some on the spot, clicking type of questions, quizzes, right? We'll review the past question papers. We'll have doubt sessions. We'll of course do revision, where you have to reinforce in terms of the memory. And for MPC6, we'll try to do small problems on the spot by spending some time, right? And then some assignment queries if you have, you can always ask, and you can sort out in the last few minutes of every class, right? What are the next steps? So I'll pause now. We are ahead of time, so we don't need the full 2 hours today, but we'll have more of discussions if required, right? So we'll take the questions in a few minutes from now. And next step, what? Um, just we'll finalize when we can start in when we do the Q&A, and then just wait for the instructions how to join the class, and it will be a little bit easy, and I'll make sure that it's intuitive for you to join. I will also try and see if I can use some learning management system so that you can stay as a group and exchange notes and those kind of things. Let me see if I can. I will implement that. Otherwise, we'll join in this regular video mode and those kind of things. So what I mean by LMS is a learning management system where you can go and discuss under each unit. Hey, what is this doubt I have? And somebody can answer, or I will answer, and stuff like that. And you will be close together as a group and learn together, right? And as I said, this recording will be there. And if somebody did not attend today, then hopefully the Q&A would have helped. Or if not, then just my mail ID is there. You can write again, and I can try to help you. And what is most important now? Just out of curiosity, go to this link, right? I'll spend some time maybe after this in the IGNOU website. Go to this link, and the assignment is there already for July batch and Jan 23 batch also, which is yet to be registered. Also, it is already there, right? And the common assignment is there for both these batches. So you can go and download it and read the instructions and start preparing for your other subjects other than MPC 5 and 6. Start writing those assignments. You have to handwrite in A4 page, ruled page. I used to use a fountain pen. I simply to enjoy the process of writing after long many years. So like that you can also do when you have time. It is an enjoyable process. Now is a good time to start writing because you have 7 subjects to write. Okay, so start with any one subject. I'll just go to IGNOU website and I will after that open for Q&A. Okay, so let us go into the.
Sorry, can I just interject?
Yes, yes, yes.
The thing is, like, I have to leave for another meeting, so
Mm-hmm.
I just need to ask you, like, where will I find the link of this recorded lecture?
You will get it in your mail, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So,
you
and
will
I
get it
hope
in your mail.
I'm very thankful to you. You have provided all the information, and maybe
Welcome,
next
welcome.
class, you please mention. I'll look into it when they are consenting for the next class. I mean, the
Yes,
timings and the
yeah,
day or the
sure,
date.
sure.
Okay.
We'll be in
But
touch. Yeah,
yeah, but
thank
I
you.
have to make a move. So
No
thank you
problem.
very
No
much.
problem.
It was wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Looking forward. All right. So let us look at the IGNOU website. You would have gone here. Nothing new here. I am sure. Like you also might have registered through this only. But certain things I can now formally help you with. So eGyan course is where you go and get your study materials. I hope you might have seen this. I'll come back there. So other than that, many of the things I would have talked, all you can see here, right? This is about IGNOU, all the schools of studies. So I'll go here also later and show you. And all the divisions are here, and right. So exam registration, all these things are here, and hopefully you don't need revaluation and all that, right? And term and exam registration also you can do from here. Eventually, later for convocation, you can come here to register, right? And the student support is very useful, right? All your downloads and everything is here. So we will look at this also once, okay? And some grievance portal is also there. They're pretty responsive. You can do that, okay? And on the main page, you'll have some latest announcements here. So keep looking here. There is always a good number of announcements. Since you are now a student, okay? So make sure you come here weekly once and see what is the latest announcements and everything, right? Don't depend on other people to give you information. This is free information available to everybody. So don't feel so helpless that you don't know if somebody doesn't tell you. You only come here and you can see it. Okay. So what else is here? Yeah, you can get all the study center information, regional center information, everything. Okay. And what other? Yeah, results when you finish your exam, you'll see here. Um, whatever is most relevant, I'll touch that. Okay. So if you come here, you can check your study material status. Okay. Putting your registration number and you can find out what is the status, right? And there is a common prospectus. I suggest you download this and read it. And there's also I'll show you like the IGNOU MAPC program guide. So please download that also. Now we are into the schools of studies. I'll show you how to go into MAPC relevant things. So you're in programs. Just click on MAPC. Right, all the relevant things are here. This program guide is must and should. You should have it. You should know all the content written here. Okay. So please go through this program guide. This is only 70 pages. It's not much because your prospectus is I think 200 plus pages. So whatever I spoke or whatever doubts you have, first read here. Okay, if this does not answer, then you look at other avenues, right? And all the courses, what we spoke, everything is here, right? So it's all very very systematic and very beautifully done. And once you study the subjects, you'll realize the IGNOU materials are so well researched and good materials. Okay, so what is this? The student zone. This is okay. Many things are here. You can go through and make use of these, right? And yeah, the downloads very important here. The common prospectus, what I told you, just go here. Unfortunately, right now there is only English link. So, but just click that. It's 300 plus pages. So all the details are here. Okay, all the IGNOU details are here. So you can see all the programs are here. All the 200 odd programs, their relevant details, including MAPC. Everything is here. Okay, so nothing to worry. And there are, as I told you, date sheets. Whenever the exam is nearby, you will get a date sheet link. This is a December date sheet link, which I am sure nobody in this group is linked with, right? And yeah, and then what else? Let us go to downloads itself. Uh, yeah, we are already in downloads. So let us look at assignments. So I'm showing you how to get your assignment question paper. FYI, your assignment is already up, right? So how did you come here? From IGNOU homepage. Let's go back and show. I'll show again. Student support. Okay. First menu. Go to downloads. In downloads, left side, you'll see assignments. Then you come here. Ours is masters. Click on masters. Search as per MAPC. MAPC, this is our code. Click here. You're in first year, and it is applicable to July as well as Jan 23. Now somebody can ask, I am Jan 22 batch, what to do even if I need to submit the assignment still for first year? You can use this, and there is a rule how you submit the assignment. Every time you need to attach the question paper on top in your answer book, okay, so that they will know which question paper you have referred while answering these questions. So no issue. If you're Jan or Jan 22 or even 21 batch, you can take any latest, but make sure you take the latest assignment and download and do it. So we all clicked it and we got the assignment. Okay, it's a small 11-page PDF. So some rules are here written here. As I told, 31st March 23 is your deadline for July batch, and for Jan 23 batch it's 30th September, right? So this is already given here, and then you have all these things, and read all those instructions, and you have the question paper for 100 marks. Look at your study material. Daily one question, if you write neatly in your with a pen and paper, you will do well, right? So whichever subject you are taking up. So this is for MPC 1, MPC 2, 3, so on. Okay, so start writing your assignments. That is your first target. Okay, MPC 5 and 6 I'm helping you, but other subjects you do it so that you get used to it, and don't start anything in last minute. We are already just in time. Okay, we are in December, so Jan, Feb, March assignment submit, April, May, then June is the exam. So remember that. All right, so what else? Which other link? Yeah, you have all the regional centers information here, right? How did we come here? Again from the, what do you say, from the home only we came here. One of the links, yeah, regional centers we came here, right? So everything is here. Regional center websites, like if you are Ahmedabad, then just click on Ahmedabad, you go to the Ahmedabad website, and you have all the details. You can call them, you can mail them, you can visit them, do all those things, right? So that is how it works. And yeah, there are learner support cells again if you need. So study material status, which batch you are enrolled, that batch, say your July 22, go there, put your roll number, and you will know the status. Okay, whether it is being dispatched or no status, then you can write to them. I had shared that mail ID also. There is one mail ID here, but one more mail ID I had shared. They respond more readily on that within like 1 or 2 days. So if anybody needs, I can again share that again. Okay, so that's all about this website. Okay, now I'll come back and let us look at, I'll stop sharing. Maybe I'll continue sharing, but if there are questions, let us take the questions. So let us see if anybody else needs any other. I try to bring everybody on the stage. They want to unmute and talk. Okay. So Gagandeep, if you got a prompt, you can unmute. Good. And then did I bring Jalpaji already? Okay, let me invite. So next time I'll make sure this is not the case. Okay. Now I have to invite one by one. That is the thing. So Jalpa, you can see you got any prompt on your screen and accept. And then you'll be on the stage. After that, you can unmute and talk. Okay. Not sure. Okay. So Rashmi, I'll try again. I think you were on mobile, so it was not allowing. I'm not sure. You're already on the stage. Okay. So whoever is on the stage, you can talk, unmute and talk. Others, I will try to follow through the chat box. But first, let us look at the chat box. If I missed anything, we have to decide before 30th December. I have to fill the form for next year. Okay. Let we will try and understand what is that question from Rashmi ji. Okay, for clinical psychologist, someone told me it's mandated to get affiliated RCI. Counseling is not needed. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do as a clinical psychologist, right? So if you are going to work as a therapist, then you need an RCI. But if you're going to work as a clinical psychologist, then you don't need RCI. Okay, so if you need therapist, that means you'll be administering some kind of tests, and you'll be making certain higher level decisions, right? Then for sure you need an RCI affiliation. Okay, but if you are going to be a clinical psychologist doing the preliminary screening and then handing over to the psychiatrist based on the condition requirement, then you don't need your current MA will be good enough for that. Yeah, I was going through for MPhil admission. They are asking for regular MA psychology. Yes, so this I think um, there was a what you say notification by the Gazette. Um, there was a bill or something that was passed where that is not no more relevant, right? They can go ahead with part-time MA, like distance learning MA. I can send that reference. So that is not valid anymore. Like last year or so, it was clarified. Okay. Jan 22 student. I have submitted all assignments. Very good. I have not appeared in exams. Am I supposed to write? No, if you have already submitted exams, there is no need to. Submitted assignments. There is no need to resubmit your assignment. So let me give an example. Same example I can give. So Jan 22, then your assignment deadline was 30th September. So if you already submitted, then you don't need to do anything, right? And you can skip December exam if you don't want to. Maybe you're not prepared or whatever personal commitment. The next opportunity to write the exam is June. So when you write that time, your assignment marks would have already come, and that is valid. And IGNOU will keep that in record, no issues. And you can take up the June exam. So they will consider your 22 submission of assignment and 23 June exam, no issues. Yes, after completion of MA, you can still take up RCA registration certificate, no issue. Yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so there are some criteria to meet, and you can do the RCI. This maybe some other time when there is some free time, I will go through that process how to do that. Okay, for now, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Just focus on your MA psychology. Finish it in first attempt. That is the matter of pride. And don't give any backlogs or things like that. Okay. So that is what I wish for all of you. All right. Any other questions? Anybody wants to unmute and ask the questions? Those who got the speaker um, capability. Anybody? There was also a poll. Did you look at the poll? Okay, I see a lot of people have voted. So more on weekends, but since we are less people, the percentage looks higher. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so looks like the weekend is what is being preferred. Mm. Yeah, somebody unmuted want to ask something. Any question from anybody? Okay, no question. Then all right. Um, so looks like the weekend looks like the better option. It looks like, but let us see what other. Okay, some more people are voting. Oh, 16 votes now. Good. Okay, Monday looks like another good option. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday also looks good. So yeah, one thing is I will not be able to take it in the daytime. Okay, that is a constraint I have. So it will be only in the evenings and something like the same time, like 7 to 9 or something like that. Okay, so let us plan like Wednesday and Thursday for now to start with. It is not like forever sealed like that. And let us first start with Wednesday and Thursday. Seems to be a little bit neutral option. So let us do that Wednesday and Thursday maybe, so that we'll start like that. And if there are constraints or things like that, just one more time we will try to adjust. But beyond that, maybe I will request like you, unless you have a mandatory issue, then I'll request like you align with the class time. So does it okay for everybody? We'll try and do Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, kind of looking neutral for now. Okay, my next question is, I think next week is a lot of vacation and people may be traveling or whatever, Christmas time. So I'm opening the calendar. Um, so is Jan 4th a good day to start? Jan 4th and 5th? Can you put on the chat or you can speak? Jan 4th is good.
It's okay,
We will
sir.
start. Okay, okay. Okay. Anybody wants to talk in Hindi? I will try to reply. आप पूछ सकते हैं जितना हो सकता है मैं बात करूंगा. Okay. So we will start then. Okay. Jan 4th को शुरू करेंगे and we will continue for the next 16 weeks, right? As we saw here. So अगले 4 महीने तक इसको चालू रखेंगे. Okay. So what about other subjects? Anybody, if you need any help, you're always welcome to ask me. I don't have the bandwidth to take those classes myself, and I don't think I can find anybody to do it like me without charging or anything. I don't know. If I find, I'll more than happy to bring them to this forum. Okay. Hmm? All right. So let us meet on Jan 4th. So every Wednesday, Thursday, we will do both, sir. हम MPC5 और 6 दोनों हर हफ्ते करेंगे, दोनों को साथ में करेंगे, ठीक है। और टू गेट द रिदम वी कैन स्टार्ट विथ MPC5 फर्स्ट फॉर फर्स्ट 2 और 3 to 4 क्लासेस, उसके बाद स्टैटिस्टिक्स शुरू करेंगे। आपके पास स्टडी मटेरियल है ऑलरेडी गगनदीप जी?
सर, यस सर।
वेरी गुड। सो अगर आपके पास स्टडी मटेरियल ऑलरेडी है तो आपको कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी। सो आप स्टडी मटेरियल के हिसाब से ब्लॉक और यूनिट पकड़ के यू कैन स्टार्ट प्लानिंग। सो मैं शेड्यूल भी भेजूंगा किस दिन पे कौन सा क्या यूनिट क्या ब्लॉक चलेगा। सो दैट विल आल्सो हेल्प, राइट। अभी इसके बाद इस मीटिंग के बाद अगले 1 या 2 दिन के अंदर मैं पूरा शेड्यूल भेजूंगा, ठीक है। आप प्लानिंग भी कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। थोड़ा आप रिवाइज भी करके आ सकते हैं उस क्लास में। ओके, सो मटेरियल तो आपके पास है ही, तो इसमें कोई अ, अलग सा मटेरियल कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं है। जो इग्नू का स्टडी मटेरियल है उसी पे फोकस करेंगे एंड वही काफ़ी है आपको हाई मार्क्स लेने के लिए। ओके, जैसे मैंने बताया वो इट्स लाइक अ वेरी गुड वेल रिसर्च कंटेंट, तो उसी पे फोकस करके हम प्रिपेयर करेंगे, ठीक है। अगर आपको फिजिकल मटेरियल नहीं मिला हो तो आप एक बार देख लो कहाँ से मिल सकता है आपको मटेरियल, ठीक है। एक बार आप ई ज्ञान कोर्स जाइए, स्क्रीन पे देखिए अभी। ओके, फिर आप ये थोड़ा चेंज हुआ है, देखते हैं कहाँ से गया। थोड़ा लिंक चेंज हो गया, बट नो प्रॉब्लम। अब डाउनलोड्स में जाइए, आपको स्टडी मटेरियल स्टेटस है। हाँ, इट इज हियर, इग्नोर सेल्फ लर्निंग मटेरियल। सो सेम ई ज्ञान कोर्स के अंदर जाइए, आई मीन सेकंड लिंक को क्लिक कीजिए। ओके, थोड़ा वो नाम चेंज हो गया तो पता नहीं चला। स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेस, ये आपको याद रखना है कि वी आर बिलोंगिंग टू द स्कूल, ठीक है। लेवल्स के अंदर जाइए, हमारा क्या है, इट्स मास्टर्स, ठीक है। सो करंट पे क्लिक कीजिए, उसके अंदर जाइए MAPC पे क्लिक कीजिए। फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर दोनों मटेरियल इधर मिलेंगे, ठीक है। अब फर्स्ट ईयर पे जाओ, सारे सब्जेक्ट्स इधर हैं, राइट। सो ये मैं चैट में डाल दूँ, इसलिए मैं फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर दोनों का चैट में डाल देता हूँ लिंक, राइट। सो इसको क्लिक कीजिए और आप मटेरियल डाउनलोड कर लो, ठीक है। थोड़ा आपको लैपटॉप हेल्प करेगा, अगर आपके पास लैपटॉप नहीं है तो डेस्कटॉप भी चलेगा, बट इट विल हेल्प टू हैव वन कंप्यूटर। थोड़ा क्लास के लिए भी आप लॉग इन करिए लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप से, क्योंकि जब मैं स्क्रीन पे पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन दिखाऊंगा तो मे बी मोबाइल उसमें तकलीफ होगी, ठीक है।
सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते थे।
हाँ मैडम, बिल्कुल।
सर एग्ज़ाम के प्रिपरेशन के लिए अगर पास्ट पेपर्स ही करें तो सफिशिएंट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि क्वेश्चंस जो है रेपिटेशन में आ रहे हैं।
हाँ हाँ ज़रूर। सो पास्ट क्वेश्चन पेपर आप देख के एनालाइज करके उसके हिसाब से किस, मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल इस आप इसमें देखिए, इसी को एग्जांपल लेते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल आप ये ब्लॉक 1 यूनिट 3 है ना, रिसर्च मेथड्स के। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि पास्ट क्वेश्चन पेपर से कौन सा टॉपिक ज़्यादातर फ्रीक्वेंसी से आया है। ठीक है, आप उस टॉपिक के ऊपर आप ज़्यादा फोकस कर सकते हैं। तो वो मैं क्लास के टाइम पे बताऊंगा कि ये टॉपिक या इस सब टॉपिक के बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आए हैं और कितने मार्क्स के आए हैं, है ना। तो वो थोड़ा हेल्प करेगा आपको फोकस करने को। ठीक है, इसका मतलब नहीं कि बाकी आप छोड़ दो, बट इस पे आप थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा फोकस देके पढ़ लो और मेमोरी रिलेटेड कमिटमेंट कर लो। इतना ही है उसका पास क्वेश्चन पेपर का मतलब, राइट। लेकिन सब्जेक्ट के हिसाब से देखोगे तो जस्ट आप सभी को इक्वल इम्पोर्टेंस देके पढ़िए। एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के लिए मैं स्टार मार्क बता दूंगा कौन सा टॉपिक क्या है, कितने मार्क्स का आता है। कभी कभी 10 मार्क्स के ज़्यादा टॉपिक्स एक ही यूनिट से आते हैं, तो वो मैं बता दूंगा। या ऐसा भी होता है कि कोई कोई किसी यूनिट से कुछ टॉपिक लास्ट तीन तीन साल से नहीं आया है, तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है। ठीक है, सो इसका मतलब नहीं कि आप वो यूनिट छोड़ दें, नहीं। अगर आप लास्ट मिनट में पढ़ोगे तो बस वही करना है बस। लेकिन दैट इज़ नॉट द इंटेंट। हम अभी दिसंबर में बैठे हैं, तो अभी काफ़ी टाइम है, हम अच्छी तरह से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, आपको टर्म एंड एग्जाम के लिए मिनिमम 6 मंथ है अभी, काफ़ी दूर है, अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं। ठीक है,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
राइट, वेलकम। Where will we get the details of the sessions starting from 4th? I will mail you. I think आप लोग ने रजिस्टर किया है तो मेरे पास मेल आईडी है, तो you will get the mail from me for the next steps, right? As I told you, I am trying to see if we can do this on a learning management system so that uh, this can be little bit more structured। और आपको शायद मोबाइल ऐप भी रहेगा, आप उसके अंदर से भी देख सकते हैं जो भी रिकॉर्डिंग्स या लेक्चर के रिकॉर्डिंग्स जो भी है, आप दोबारा देख सकते हैं। सो वो उसका मैं देख रहा हूँ 4th या 5th तक। आई विल ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर ऑल्सो। वैसे तो अगले हफ्ते लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर गोइंग ऑन लीव्स एंड वेकेशंस। मैं तो हूँ, लेकिन आई कैन सी लाइक आज भी थोड़े लोग रजिस्टर किए लेकिन वो लोग ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, तो मैंने कहा ओके यू कैन सी द रिकॉर्डिंग लेटर, राइट। सो लाइक दैट, सो विल स्टार्ट 4th, 4 तारीख को। तब तक आपको मेल में सब आ चुका होगा, you can see from there and catch up. And then you have my mail ID, so you always can write and ask. The only thing is, my apologies that I had some two fields where I had a registration or a mobile and all that. I don't need that, but this system was by default giving that. But registration number I added on my own just to ensure like only genuine people come in. So anyway, later I removed it. Uh, right, so that will not be collected. So just your mail ID is good enough to keep in touch. Okay, so my mail ID you all know, so you can keep in touch. ठीक है, so um, any other things? Another 2 minutes I will wait. कुछ और पूछना है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। Anything, any other questions? So if you have more in your batch, you are welcome to suggest them also. If you think my style of conversing and teaching is beneficial, and I have not done any lesson today, but if you really think it will be useful, then bring your friends so that you will have some दोस्त के साथ पढ़ना is always good, right, with your friends. So you can encourage more people, like they can just drop a mail to me and I will add them for the next class, and then I can also share this recording with them if they need. Okay, so just take it a little bit serious and don't get stressed, but be systematic. Bas, that is good enough for this IGNOU MAPC. Hmm? All right. Okay. If no other questions, then we will close the call here and 4 तारीख को मिलेंगे, 4th of Jan. बिफोर दैट आप मेल देखते रहिए और अपडेट्स मैं भेजूंगा उसमें. ऑलराइट, थैंक यू ऑल. हैव अ गुड evening and have a good Christmas and happy New Year. Stay safe. Take care. Bye. So you can just close the exit on the thing, it will close.